Hello everybody, my name is Joe Carcos and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about a company called Rent-A-Partment. At Rent-A-Partment we supply home furnishings for rent with college students and traveling business professionals in mind. We rent out everything somebody would need for a comfortable living experience, from couches, televisions, all the way down to smaller items like coffee machines and even coffee tables. These are offered either as single items or as a package. For example, a living room package would include a couch, an armchair, a coffee table, and a television. This gives the customers the convenience of not having to shop around for separate items every time they want new furniture. We also offer delivery after purchase and pickup of the product after their rental time is up. Now this gives the customer the convenience of not having to bring their furniture everywhere they go every time they move, an added convenience especially for the traveling business professional. In order to acquire our rental products at the lowest possible price, we'll buy wholesale and source many of our products from Chinese manufacturers. The website Alibaba.com is a great resource for contacting manufacturers from China, especially for things like couches and beds and armchairs and things that don't necessarily need a brand name. But for things that do need a brand name, it's a little bit more difficult to find it on there. So we'll be utilizing more domestic resources for that. Amazon.com is a really good one, especially for used gaming consoles. Once the customers purchase the product, they'll have two options. Number one is to pick it up for themselves from our warehouse. And then the next one is to have it delivered directly to them, as I mentioned earlier, which gives them a really big convenience of not even having to leave their house to go furniture shopping. To market and promote our service and products to the customers, we'll be utilizing many different online forms of advertising. We're choosing to go online instead of more traditional advertising simply because this is where our market is. According to a study done by Pew Reports, basically 100% of college students have access to the internet. And according to a study done by Alloy Media and Harris Interactive, 95% of those students have access to the internet at home, and they spend up to 12 hours a day connected online. When we look at the working force, these numbers drop a little bit, but they still stay very high. A study done by Newswise says that workers spend on average of 60 to 80% of their time on the internet doing non-working tasks when they're working. And the younger workers are really at the higher end of the spectrum, so more towards the 80% than the 60%. Now this is obviously where a majority of our market is and where we will spend most of our promotion efforts. We'll start out with free avenues like SEO, which hopefully will optimize our organic search results. And then we'll move more towards pay-per-click ads on Facebook and Google AdWords. And then farther down the road, we'll hopefully be able to utilize a piece of software called MailChimp, which allows us to send out email blasts to a email list of our customer base, which is hopefully organically populated, which will really help us gain valuable analytics and insight on how well our ads are working. We're offering a portion of equity for an investment of $85,000. Now this $85,000 will primarily be used for startup costs of inventory, building rental, a delivery truck, and then other miscellaneous costs down the road. Our biggest cost is obviously inventory, which we'll use about $35,000 for. Inventory will include really everything that we will be renting to the consumer. Our next major cost is the building, which will cost about $22,000 for 1 year, which includes utilities. We'll be leasing a warehouse space in Bloomington, Illinois, which will really suit our needs perfectly. And the next major cost is the delivery truck, which costs about $7,000 for a basic used box truck, which we've sourced from U-Haul. We figure with how much driving we're doing in such a small area, we figure that a used truck will be good for at least the first couple of years. And the rest of the money will go towards miscellaneous costs. For example, building a website, which will cost us about $7,000 to build a website with e-commerce features and all of the user backend that we need. And then the other money will go to just really basic overhead costs that every business really experiences in their first couple of years. Our strategy when it comes to selling the business is to be bought by a major home furnishings rental chain called Rent-A-Partment. They have a solid history of acquiring smaller rental chains, especially in the Midwest. Examples of this include Get It Now, which is based out of Wisconsin, and Home Choice, which is based in Minnesota. This will happen after we expand our territory a little bit, which we see happening in about 8 to 10 years, depending really on how fast we can grow. But once that happens, we see Rent-A-Partment being a really perfect fit to be bought by. As investors, you can expect to see a 4x return after we sell our company. Now again, we see this timeline being about 8 to 10 years, depending on how fast we can grow. Thanks for your time, and we hope that you will consider this a valuable investment. Have a great day.